Okay, so spoilers section. Let's talk spoilers.
Okay.
Didn't.
There's really not much to spoil.
Where's Bob? Bob is an integral part of the Deadpool character in the comic series. Was it the bartender?
No,
Can you
no. He actually grabbed a guy and says, "Bob, the guy, the mercenary at the ship fight." He grabs the dude and says, "How's the wife and kids?" Knocks him out and drags him.
That guy's name was Bob.
He called him Bob.
T.J. Miller played Weasel. He was the bartender.
Okay,
that was his name, Weasel.
Okay, so at first I thought it was Bob. But okay, that moment when he attacks the main bad guy base, and they have a bunch of super henchmen shooting him with guns, kills every single one. There's like one guy left on the bottom level, and like knocks his helmet off and realizes
and then
this is
like
Bob.
He hears him talk. He's like, "Bob," and he's like, "Wade." And he's like, "I haven't seen you since what was it?
Jacksonville.
Okay,
TGI
so
Fridays.
They made it to where Bob can be a part of the series because they're talking and I think they're gonna interact and he's gonna leave him alone, but he fucking knocks him out
and then just
keeps talking and drags him off, and we never see what he does with him. So maybe he took him back home. Maybe he's gonna hang out with him later.
I thought he spelled out his name, Francis.
No, Francis is the name of the villain.
No, I know, but I thought he used him to spell the name.
Probably.
He didn't see that, but he dragged him off screen.
You don't know any of that. Was way too far away, Joe, for us to tell if one of those guys was Francis.
Well, it was Bob.
It was Bob. Bob's fine.
Bob was EF.
Bob is the greatest sidekick.
So I was a little surprised at how safe the movie played it. I expected his girlfriend to die. I expected Deadpool to go crazy and sort of that's what maintains his anti-hero stance and his sort of both sides kind of thing. But no, it's a fucking happy ending. It was, and the villains are so stupid. They don't ever kill. Movies have been getting more realistic. The comic book movies have been getting more realistic, and villains are starting to do villain shit, like real villain shit, not comic book villain shit. These comic book villains did comic book villain shit. They were carrying around his woman the whole time, never fucking killing her, using her as a taunt, putting her in the glass case.
Yeah, they used her as bait, even though by killing her they would have baited him to come after him anyway.
Yeah,
and they know that they did that to him no matter what. But they didn't. He was more of a villain than they were because he was
killed
killing
a lot of
everybody.
Fucking people. Yeah,
whereas
he killed a lot of bad people. He helped out the society.
He even pointed out, you guys are just working for them. You're not necessarily evil, and then he just killed them all anyway. But hey,
I love how they didn't overpower Deadpool in the sense that he is overpowered because he's so fucking awesome. He can handle henchmen like nobody's business.
That's true.
But when he's going up against other higher level people, he gets his ass kicked against Colossus. That is the most hilarious part of the movie.
No, he kicked his own ass.
He did kick his own ass.
Colossus he really didn't hit him though. He broke his own legs. He broke his own ass.
He's like, don't worry, T-Rex is shit. And then he does this badass butterfly kick. Boom, breaks his other leg, and he's like this. He's like, that's all right. I got this. Man.
That was great.
That was such a good part of the movie. And I felt like if the X-Men didn't come and do him a solid, if he will consider to help the X-Men or join the X-Men in the future, that he would have lost.
Oh yeah, Angel would have
fucking killed him because Angel was taking on Colossus.
True.
It was head to head. Now I felt like if Colossus lost his temper, then he could easily fuck Angel up.
Oh, yeah.
But in normal mode, they were an even match.
But he was afraid to hit her. He's like, no, I don't want to hit a girl. And this and that.
Yeah.
The other thing, too, is there was that bar scene where they all pulled guns on him. Mm-hmm. I feel like guns could still kill her. Because they back
Angel?
Because she has super strength, but I feel like bullets, considering they can kill almost
Okay,
everybody.
So knowing that, you may be right in that Deadpool might have been able to pull it off on his own, but it would have been a hell of a lot harder.
I don't know about that.
And he would have had to bring his bag.
Duffel bag.
His duffel bag. He forgot this duffel bag. We forgot to talk about the cab character, which was pretty funny. So how does Deadpool get around? Well, he doesn't fucking fly. He doesn't, grapple hook like Batman. No. He doesn't fucking swing around. He drives drives the back of the taxi with just some cabbie, an Indian guy who he has Pindar. He's got good rapport with him. You can tell they've been in the cab several times together, and he drives him around, and it's funny. They have great moments together in the film. Well, Deadpool shows up, gets the most guns he can find to just go and save his fucking girlfriend, and then he drives off with all of his guns and his little Hello Kitty backpack. And forgot all his guns, so they do this badass walk, and they're like, "Fuck it, we'll just do it old school." And he just swords, which I'm so glad they did.
His swords were cool.
Yeah, it
was just great. It was fantastic, and honestly, like, I thought the movie was short because, like, it just felt like it was over like that.
Right.
And then I looked, it was like, it was 2 fucking hours, and I'm like,
wow,
what?
Really? I wanted that movie to keep going.
Yeah.
I wanted him to meet Professor Xavier and make fun of him. I
maybe steal some stuff from Iron Man like he usually does. It would be great.
Damn it, man.
We need a number 2 now.
So Sony owns Spider-Man, because I'm thinking, man, Spider-Man and Deadpool, those two could do some damage. That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But it's Fox, and so all these big companies. This is so interesting in the superhero world right now that these companies are starting to realize we're making shit tons of money off this. Sure.
Yeah.
Fine. So because you heard that Spider-Man is crossing over into the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
For Civil War, there's rumors and stuff. It's pretty much confirmed, and so I want companies to start to cooperate like this more. I think it's really freaking cool. Also, the scene at the end, they do confirm that the sequel will have Cable in it. He doesn't care who. They don't know who they're going to cast for it. Keira Knightley, she's got incredible range. Who else did he say? Just somebody with a flat top, Mel Gibson, whatever. Just some funny shit.
Anybody, yeah.
I don't know who they'd get, but they've been nailing the casting decisions.
Who would you pick
for
Cable?
Yeah.
That's such a such a unique
and
niche character that I'm not going to be able to tell you off the top of my head.
Have to look into
it's going to have to be somebody, probably an unknown. It's not somebody you're going to be like, oh, that guy's known and he nailed the role. Well, I don't know. I could be wrong. We'll watch this video in a year or two from now and see if I was wrong. Is it a nobody or is it a name actor?
I knew it!
Guess,
Eddie Murphy.
What?
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. You heard it here first.
Will Smith.
God, what? Will Smith is in D.C. He's the fucking you idiots.
Will Smith. Will Smith with a mustache.
Fuck. Somebody with white hair.
Be somebody fucking random.
Tom Hardy. I don't know. I don't know. Fuck it. All right, guys. So leave in the comments who you think could play Cable.
Yes.
And do we have any other spoilers? Let's talk more stuff. There's more stuff.
I
got one thing. I wish they would have pushed his timeline.
Talk about scenes in the movie.
They should have pushed his timeline back further than where he seemed to have started, because it was because there was a destroyed helicarrier, which means it was after the Winter Soldier, right? Because they blew up the helicarrier and the Winter Soldier. And then it was crashed, and so they were mining that. I guess some weird agency that nobody.
Well, that's
knew
the first time we've seen Marvel stuff in Fox's stuff. I think.
Yeah, it was definitely the helicarrier.
I was wondering what the fuck that was, and I was going to ask you.
That's the helicarrier. Yeah.
Okay,
I thought so.
Okay.
So that's
why the big turbine, the engines on the thing.
I don't know, because there were signs on the gate, and I didn't see any signs that would pertain to S.H.I.E.L.D.
They weren't allowed to use Hydra or anything, I don't think, which is why the bad guys had nothing on them. They were just black, generic, suited guys. But my thing I had is it's implied
that it's maybe a little Hydra or Project X or I think it's more Project X than Hydra, to be honest. But
they should have put their timeline back more, because I liked the story of where Nick Fury was the person who tried to bring Deadpool into S.H.I.E.L.D. to get him to stop being just kill everybody, and he was his moral compass. And I think that they couldn't. There's no way they could have gotten the money or licensing to use Fury, so they used Colossus instead as like a mentor, kind of like a guide. But in the comic books, Fury was kind of like the guy that was always like, Deadpool, stop killing people. Work for us.
Yeah,
I
think Colossus is better in my opinion. It was genius to do it because it flirt. You got the X-Men factor in there and all that shit. So I didn't quite understand Ajax's power. He said he had heightened reflexes, but it seemed like he had everything. It seemed like he was a Deadpool without the healing.
He had
like, you
super
can't
strength.
Heal, I know that.
He had a little bit of super strength.
And you never really saw his reflexes because they talked about how but he was just fighting normally the entire time. It wasn't like he was like blocking everything perfectly.
Yeah.
So,
and then
Not everybody's perfect, Del.
he said he would.
that one new X-Men chick, brand new character. I can't remember her name. It was like Nova Hellcat Fire,
It's like
shocking
Negasonic Warhead. Negasonic Warhead.
Something like that. He was like, "That's the fucking coolest thing." Yeah.
What?
I didn't quite understand her powers. I guess it's basically
explosions.
momentary blasts. And she was able to take on Angel for a little bit, but
Well, see, because you were saying she couldn't withstand a bullet, right?
Angel?
There was a big explosion she was in. She
could withstand bullets. She's
That's
basically
what I was thinking.
she's on the level with Colossus.
That's what I was thinking.
I was thinking, and so she could withstand bullets. Like I said, me and Joe think that if Deadpool would have went in there by himself, he would have got his ass kicked.
Yeah, for sure.
He wouldn't have died. Deadpool can't really die.
No.
I was wondering if they were going to do a little bit of that, the whole Deadpool flirting with death and this whole idea that he could never die.
Well, maybe
they never really
said they
did
were
that.
Chop him up in pieces.
Oh, is that what they were talking about? Yeah.
But even in the comics, he's been like obliterated, but he like sleeps with death literally.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
He
That's
literally
what I'm
does
saying.
that, and she brings him back like multiple times.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I wonder. I was interested in that because then I was like, well, how's Thanos factoring in? Is it going to be the same death character? But they didn't do that at all.
I thought if he does fight her without their help, it would have been like the way he beat Galactus by annoying the hell out of him until he just left. Which is how he actually beat Galactus.
I did not know that. I never knew Deadpool went up against Galactus.
And he just annoyed him so badly, he just left.
I'm fucking leaving.
Oh my god.
His mouth was constantly running the whole thing. All of his jokes were funny.
Yes.
When
Ajax is like, "Do you ever shut up?"
Yeah, it was, and it felt so good, guys. Okay, that's enough for the spoiler section. Leave all your favorite scenes and moments in there and who you think should play Cable, and we will see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.
See you guys.
He was the Herald of Galactus.
This is the end of the line.